That's a red flag for me.
Taking the leftovers
food on your first date. On your first date with someone, leave the food.
Leave the food.
I have to agree.
All right.
But who wanted to take the food, you or her?
I never imagined that we would actually reach a point where men are considered red flags if they wanted to take home some leftover food from a first date. But that's apparently what we're going to see here today. So we have an influencer here who is going to tell us exactly why is it that if a man decides to take leftovers home from a first date, they are now deemed to have the ick by these particular women.
What?
That's a red flag for me.
Taking the leftovers
food on your first date. On your first date with someone, leave the food.
Leave the food.
I have to agree.
All right.
But who wanted to take the food, you or her?
We both didn't want it to go to waste. So I was like, do you want it? And she was like, no. And I was like, all right, I guess I'll take it. So I took it. There were two separate packages, right?
Lauren, can you tell us why taking the food is
Yeah, I'd love to hear this.
an ick?
It has something to do for me, like financially. I think that leftovers, when you take leftovers, it's when you're like in a relationship. As a first date, you just eat whatever you want. And if there's leftovers, you can leave them there and then you can go your separate ways.
Yeah, that's just more nonsense advice. Look, I will extend an olive branch here. I don't want to seem like I'm being unfair. There are certain circumstances where taking the food might not necessarily be the best idea. For example, if you are going somewhere else after the date, like a movie, or you're going to go ice skating, or you're going to do a physical activity where the food would be in the way, you wouldn't be able to refrigerate it and keep it in a place that's safe, then under those circumstances, I can probably understand you not wanting to take the food. But you can also always give it to a homeless person. There's always something you can do with it. It doesn't necessarily have to be thrown away. And what she said at the end, I personally thought was silly, because if you're going to end the date and you're going to go your separate ways, why do you have to leave the food behind? I'm a guy, man. We get hungry, okay? If I paid a lot of money for this dinner and I'm going to just go home afterwards, why wouldn't I want to take the leftovers? This is a really crappy mentality that a lot of these dating influencers have. And it's really horrible because it gives an unrealistic expectation on the way men should be treating women on a date, and vice versa. It also ends badly for women as well, because now they have this unrealistic expectation that men are supposed to be these baller rich dudes from jump, and most people don't function that way. We're not talking about the 1% here. We're talking about the 99% of the population that is not rich, that are not extreme high earners. Yes, look, you will have high earners and you don't always need to take the food. I'm not saying that taking the food is a necessity. You can leave the food if you're full and you don't want to take it. That's okay. The only issue is when you are telling people that it makes this person seem like they are not a financially stable individual because they don't want good food to go to waste. So somehow you being a good human being is now added to the list of red flag icks that are imaginary, by the way, because most people don't really function this way. And you really have to give yourself a little perspective when you're thinking about these particular situations here. This is the exact same type of dating advice that will ultimately, inevitably leave you single, because you're going to act extremely neurotic and think that there's always something wrong, that the expectation of having the guy doing certain things for you, if not met, means you are a horrible suitor, a horrible person. Most people are just regular, okay? And they're gonna make mistakes. You should be worrying about other things during your date, like if you align on your values versus whether the person decided to take home some food with them or not. There's plenty of other things that you can have pretty good conversation about to see if this person is a right fit for you. And look, honestly, it's frustrating for me too, because the dude was trying to explain his perspective to them and they were both just like, no, unacceptable. You are inferior. You are no longer someone that I wish in my plane of reality. I banish you to the shadow realm, you mere mortal, for wanting to take crumbs with you home. Once more, levitation above the rest of the population. An unrealistic expectation, once more. This is crappy advice. I didn't interrupt. I let the whole video play. And what do you guys think about this, man? Honestly, by the way, if you're rocking with this content, if you like Neo Decoded, please feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe, do the damn thing to help your brother out. Every like, every share, hit that bell so that YouTube acknowledges my existence does help me grow this channel. This is coming from a place of privilege. I need you all to be aware of this. When you have two women sitting in front of this man saying that he didn't want the food to go to waste, and they're telling him that he should just leave it, is coming from a place of privilege, because there are plenty of people that are gonna go hungry, that are hungry in these streets and need food, and to throw it away is just cruel in my opinion. Listen, when I was a child, I remember us getting our electricity shut off all the time because, I mean, let's face it, I just grew up poor. I was a poor inner city kid in the Bronx. And, you know, my mom didn't have it like that. I had memories of us having to put our milk in a pot and then put cold water on it just to keep it from spoiling because the refrigerator didn't have any electricity. So I am well aware and I understand the value of $1, and I also simultaneously understand the value of food. If you're gonna go home with each other and you're gonna hook up and do the nasty, you know, you're gonna goon all over each other, then yeah, maybe, you know, you don't want that food in your way. But you could always leave it for afterwards. You might want to have a snack afterwards. Just think of it, okay? You don't have to take the food, and I don't want everyone to leave this video with the expectation that that's something that you should be doing, because a lot of people, quite frankly, are probably not going to take the food with them. But if you are compelled to take it and feel that this girl is somehow going to view you as lesser than, just leave. She's not for you. She's for the streets. She's going to be someone that is not going to respect or treat you seriously in any way, shape, or form, because you are going to be scrutinized based off of your individual actions, with a kind gesture as packing food to go. Anyway, if you want to see another example of somebody having a hard time in this dating world, check the video up here. I'm going to put it up here on this corner. And yeah, man, with that said, deuces.